Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 here, with my continuing playing of Heroes of Normandy. There were very different combat styles within... I want to close that out. Where did that pop up? Oh, no, it's gone. Okay. Within Normandy, you had, as I look at it, sort of particularly manpower exhausted Britain, who was they weren't timid, they weren't shy, but they were wanting to send firepower instead of men into combat, obviously, and you know, who wants to have your soldiers die? But so they were. And it's also partially General Montgomery's viewpoint of the methodical sort of warfare of getting your pieces into place and, you know, putting firepower on your enemy to win. Where the Americans, particularly under both Bradley and Patton, really wanted to use velocity of attack and hit the enemy, presumably win the initial contact, and keep hitting the enemy so that they can't reform good defensive positions, ambushes, or other sorts of things. So they wanted to do that, and so that there was very different styles, and this is why, what, at least in my opinion, is what was supposed to be, you know, the left flank and the breakout towards Germany didn't happen as sort of planned, is because, yeah, desperate fighting around Cannes and some German units brought up, but I really think it was the inability of Britain to rapidly exploit the situation and put the Germans wrong-footed, you know, push them off of balance, so that got a sort of a pivot point, bogged down into that, if you will. I don't know if bogged is the right term. And the other big surprise, and I think it was a surprise to the British as well, but very much to the Americans, of what a hedgerow was. Because we have hedgerows, shall we say, in America, but they're nothing like these few hundred-year-old you know, walls of growth of trees, rocks, and other things that that are intertwined and are just some sort of something that would stop a tank. Ours are just sort of trimmed the bushes that, you know, you could bodily sort of crash through, you know, if you will, if you really, you know, ran at it and tried. Not that you wouldn't get scraped up and hurt. So looking at aerial photos, we just saw that as some vegetation that yeah, we give concealment to the enemy, but not a cover and not an impediment. So our attack into the hedgerows got bogged down with that. And the Germans' plan was very much of a maybe out of necessity in its terrain use, but it changed from sort of the all-out blitzkrieg of rapid movement of large forces. And I say necessity is in that they weren't necessarily able to overwhelm in numbers the Americans or the British at the point of contact. So that was always the key. It wasn't that the German army in 1940 was larger than the French army, definitely, and even though the British army wasn't so huge, it was fairly substantial and well equipped. The Expeditionary Force was, the BEF. Was at the point of contact, they were overwhelming. They weren't able to do that partially because of the size of the American and British and Canadian landing and build-up, but also it's sort of because it was in a narrow area. It wasn't widely dispersed landing points, you know, at Calais and Normandy and Brittany and wherever else, with each one all trying to push in. They were concentrated, so they were already a concentrated force. So Germans were very much of a counter reaction to the to an allied attack. They would see where an allied attack was developing, try to allow, you know, get out of the way a little bit, but make them take casualties for their advances, and then once the localized attack was developing a little bit, then counterattack that before they had a chance to set themselves up. Keep them off-footed that way, not off-footed and then be able to pursue deeper into the pocket, but just simply as localized containment counteractions. At least that's how I'm understanding and describing the tactics used in the Normandy battlefront as I see them. Obviously, you guys read a lot of history too, and a lot of combat histories, you know, memoirs and such. So if you want to chime in with your thoughts, I'd love to hear them. Okay, let's see. Sneaky, sneaky. Okay, so use terrain and blow up a bridge. 5 turns. Okay, pick up item, target area with it. Secondary objective. Zunpud. Okay, I'm not terribly familiar with that. I'll look that up. Turn 1, we have the initiative. Okay, let's take a quick... We have a recon unit that can hide, so they can't be seen, but you're sure to seen anyways. We have a bazooka. We have Marvin. Limited range, but he can assault. Which adds orders to our army as they called it. Support squad and our rifle squad. Okay. Rifle. With that. Okay. That's not going to happen. See if we can get to there while still being sneaky. Okay. Okay, we didn't do so well there. Oh, I want to shoot them. Okay, we're going to go to menu and restart mission. Okay. Yes, we know these things. Yes, you're spotted, but you're not shot. Well, they dodged a bullet there. Wish we had smoke rounds. Might be like going to try this again here. Restart mission again. with it. Taking us out there. Wow, they did well. I guess I don't think you too well. You guys are supposed to be sneaky and can't be seen. Restart the mission again. okay there. First chance of kill. Send up. Okay. Pull that one off. No, not much hope, but we'll... Wow! He's wounded. Proceed. I got him. Mission complete. Okay, well that took a few tries. We had one loss. Proceed. High score, of course, it's the first time I'm playing this, and the only one this game. Okay, well, thanks so much. We will be continuing this, I think. I'm having a bit of fun here. Please remember to like these videos and post comments.